We flew out on a Friday afternoon and stayed at the Wynn and came back on a Sunday morning. The pussy was uninspiring. I ended up getting way too faded. It was basically a shitty trip. You know what I'm saying? This is a long saga. Y'all bear with the BossMack on this one. Here we go. A nigga from Los Angeles writes to BossMack. He say, BossMack, I'm a long time listener. I've been a fan of the pod for many years. I've been listening since you was audio only. Here's my situation. I'm a 37-year-old nigga with 3, sometimes 4 bitches in rotation. This scenario doesn't involve any of my current bitches. This involves what amounts to a one-night stand bitch about 6 years ago. About 6 years ago, I was broke as fuck, sleeping on my mom's couch. And I managed to come up on a few plays. I reached out to a bitch I liked but never fucked to see if she would be interested in a play I had on deck. The play came through and we made some money. We did it a few more times and I was able to come up on a few racks thanks to this bitch. Now, this is a bitch that had a lot of game. She was living with a square nigga that she was milking, and he was, of course, taking care of a bitch. Also, this bitch had 2 small kids. Her baby daddy was in prison. This bitch was 27 at the time, and the nigga she was living with was close to 50. Like I said, I always wanted to fuck this bitch. So after we made some racks on some plays we ran, I invited this bitch out to go out to Vegas for a weekend. We flew out on a Friday afternoon and stayed at the Wynn and came back on a Sunday morning. The pussy was uninspiring. I ended up getting way too faded. It was basically a shitty trip. After that weekend, I did not see this bitch for 8 or 9 months. I heard through the grapevine a bitch was pregnant, but I gave it no thought. Then one night, I popped a Molly, and I was about to go see my new bitch and fuck all night. Just when the Molly was kicking in, the bitch I went to Vegas with called me. She was outside my mom's crib and she asked could she come in. The bitch came in and she was 8 or 9 months pregnant. I was like, wow, you really pregnant? She was like, yep. Then she asked me for a bitch's phone number that we both know so she could invite her to her baby shower. I gave it to her and the bitch left and I went to go see my new bitch, and while we were laying up smoking kush, I told the new bitch what had just happened to me and how weird that shit was. And my new bitch was like, that bitch popped up to let you know you had a baby on the way. I was like, hell no. I had wore a condom and the pussy wasn't all that. And she lived with a nigga. Fast forward 2 months later. The bitch I went to Vegas with called me again to let me know she was outside my mom's crib and could she come in. This time she had her new baby. She had a son. As soon as she walked in, she handed him to me and started asking if I had any plays on deck. I looked at her son carefully and I could not see any resemblance. My mother came in the room with her friend and I handed the baby to her, and her friend took the baby in the back room while me and this bitch talked about plays. My mother came back and handed the baby back. We finished talking and she left. I couldn't tell if this was my son or not, and my mother couldn't either. Also, she never said it was my son or insinuated anything. Now it's 6 years later, and my homegirl says she feels like that baby is mine. However, that bitch never said anything, and another nigga thinks that's his son. BossMack, what are your thoughts? That was a very long saga. My thoughts are this. If a bitch never said that you was the daddy, then I wouldn't worry about it. She lives with a nigga. You know what I'm saying? And of course it could be your son, but if you didn't see any blatant resemblances and your moms didn't see no resemblances and nobody ever accused you of anything, then, you know, you gotta fall back. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go disrupting nothing. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. Sound like colonizer claiming other people's shit, bro. Yeah, man. I wouldn't even get involved unless you got blamed. You know what I'm saying? You know. Yeah, man. Yeah. I know you probably feel bad and shit. You probably like, damn, man. What if he's my son and I'm not in his life? Hey, man, if a bitch have not come to you and been like, look, nigga, this is you, then do not worry. Hit the like button. Get a DNA test. You can't, I mean, if a bitch ain't even came at you and said it's yours, how can you even do that? You know what I'm saying? Now she come at you and say it's yours, then you can say, okay, let's get a DNA test. Hit the like button. You know? I wouldn't even worry about it unless she say, hey, it's yours. And then you say, okay, let me get a DNA test. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's real simple. You know, hey, this is yours. Really? Okay, let me get a DNA test and then we good. You know what I mean? Other than that, don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? It's all fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Peculiar timing type shit. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button though. But I get it, man. Niggas don't wanna seem like they missing out on some shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, shout out to y'all running plays, getting money. You know what I'm saying? That's a reckless female.